It's time for Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. Sully's College Football Page is brought to you by the Hilltop Bar, Advantage Insurance, Tommy's Express Car Wash, Dwayne's Cover It All, Buck's Golf Shop, Jim Creeshock Jewelry, Big Fat Design, Sun Printing, Lot Nose, the Eye Clinic of Wisconsin, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home, Menstner Hardwoods, Krasowski Dental, the Cloverbelt Credit Union, France Propane, Subway, Webco of Wausau, the Kuhn Hearing Center, Carmelo's and Rip Mountain Golf Course, Joe Rader Towing, the Dirks Group, the Intermission Lounge, the Brokaw Credit Union, Champion Insurance, Trap River Golf Club, Central Wisconsin School of Ballet, Red Clover Market, Mountain Bay Auto Care, Charlie's Bar, the People's State Bank, the Mid Cafe, North End Pub, and the Travel Leaders. It's time now for Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO.
Good. So, how are you doing today? We're on 98.9 WXCO, Sully's College Football Page on this chilly, little snowy Saturday morning with some conference championships last night and some more today. How are you doing today, Sal?
Mick, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I just had breakfast with a couple of intellectuals, which actually that would be a spoof on that comment, but nonetheless, talked a little bit about the show today with the guys. We got two great guests coming on today, one from Cloverbelt Credit Union and another from Holy Name Parish. One's going to do Christmas holiday trivia and the other one's going to pick some games. So should have a great show today, Mike.
We always like the guest coming in there, and actually we have one that I saw walk in here just as we were going on air, and a tremendous person. So we're excited to have Deacon Maher here at about 9:30. Otherwise, we had some games last night already, Sal. So we're going to jump right into some of those games that happened that you think are going to play into some of the decisions that are going to be made tomorrow, right? On here,
Mick, if Duke wins tonight, if they beat Virginia, who beat them a couple of weeks back, Virginia did beat Duke, I want to say by a couple scores, 28-14, something like that. If Duke is able to turn the tide on them, that would be a team in the college football playoff with 5 losses. And the other thing that may develop from that is 2 of the group of 5 champions may be actually ranked higher than Duke, because Duke is not ranked now. And 2 of them, the 2 that would get in, Tulane and, Tulane beat North Texas last night, but James Madison is 12-1. So there's a possibility that the ACC's champ will not partake if Duke were to upset Virginia. So there's a lot of interest in what goes on today and how this playoff is structured. And I guarantee you, Mick, if that happens, there's going to be gnashing of teeth and a call for reorganization.
Which, if you listen to the talking heads during the course of the week, everybody's got a say in it. We sat down a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and having breakfast, and we were talking about Notre Dame. And I didn't think at that time Notre Dame was going to get in. And then we looked at and everything's kind of played out that they were in a position to be in. And now they're going back and saying that they shouldn't be in, and they moved Alabama up, or not Alabama, Miami up 1 spot this week. And Notre Dame's ahead of them, but neither team plays this week.
Right.
So how are you going to move somebody up when they don't play? And whatever. There's a lot of stuff we can dive into. But let's dive into some of the games that happened yesterday, and you can go through what you saw. I know I got to see a few of these games. the Conference USA Championship. Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw out of Georgia.
Out of Georgia. You know where that is in Georgia? I don't.
I don't have a clue where the state's located. I just know the university is in
Georgia. And they have a lot of Georgia's football. That's a high place of high football.
Hey, Mick, when you're talking the 5 best states in the country, you're going to talk California, obviously Texas, Florida. And, then I think you go to Georgia, and then after that, arguably Ohio.
On there, they had I happened to watch, my nephew was in a state title game in the private schools down in Georgia, and they were playing against a sophomore that his dad was a coach, and he was going to Georgia. He was the coach was a fullback at Georgia, but the competition is just I was watching that game, and it was insane. The level it was at.
Well, Mick, I got to tell you a quick story. Years ago, we did the show over at Hudson's.
Yep.
And there were about 10 guys on a crew that were doing some work up here from Georgia. And, if you ask people in Wisconsin, in a hypothetical scenario, if the Badgers played the Packers, who would you be for? And Mick, it's higher than 75% would say the Packers.
Yep.
Because of how they are integrated in the Wisconsin communities. When I asked the guys in Georgia, if the Dogs played the Falcons, who would you be for? They looked at me like I was crazy. It's the Dogs, boy, what's wrong with you? And I thought, yeah, I get it. Okay, guys. So, down south, Mick, it's college football. It rules down there. We're up here. It's really more the pros.
The pros. Yep, I agree. They won against Jacksonville State, 1915. What does that do for them, I guess, overall in the long haul?
First of all, Jacksonville State, there's always confusion about them. They're from Alabama. There's a Jacksonville University, which is in Florida. And then there's Jackson State, which is where Deion was. That's in Mississippi. So Jacksonville State's a relatively newcomer. Very good program in the FCS for years, Mick. And then a couple of years back, they made the transition from the FCS, the Football Championship subdivision, to the FBS, the Football Bowl subdivision, the 105 now equivalence guys. So it's like the Badgers, same thing. These two teams have kind of challenged Western Kentucky, which has kind of been the power. And Western Kentucky was right there, and they got beaten the last week. I think Kennesaw State beat them. So these two teams have emerged as two of the better teams. And then, of course, this year, Liberty, which many of our listeners would know who they are.
Yep.
They struggled, Mick. So it's just bowl picking. Neither one of these teams are going to get anywhere near the college football playoff.
Or the 6 on those games on January 1st either, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Well, that, Mick, that is now integrated into the actual bowls. Or integrated into the college football playoff. You have the first original games, the 4 games on campus.
Yep.
Then the next 4, Mick, would be the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Sugar, the Cotton, the Fiesta.
Yep.
And so on. There's one more, Peach. So those bowls would house the next round, and then they would house the semifinals. And then the championship game is at a neutral site.
Gotcha. Thank you, Sully. With that, you learn something every day. And just for the people out there, Kennesaw State is north of Georgia. We always have.
It's in the northern part of Georgia?
It's north of Atlanta, I should say, on there. The Sun Belt, which you mentioned, James Madison over Troy, 31-14. That I didn't watch a little bit of that. I didn't think it was much. James Madison had that one in control for the most part.
Right.
What'd you see when you watched it?
First of all, whenever anybody says Troy, a good friend of mine, Jimmy Poshak. Jimmy was a really good basketball player. He was kind of out of time. He was 6'4", but he played guard back in 1968. And I said to him, "Where are you going?" Because I was thinking he might end up at Illinois State, Southern Illinois. He said, "I'm going to Troy." I had never heard of Troy. It's a school in Alabama. So anytime I see Troy, I always think of Jimmy. But nonetheless, this is a historically very good program, Troy. And James Madison, as you know, is coming out of the FCS. They're like Kennesaw State and Jackson State. They just emerged from the FCS. And, man, they have been really good the last couple of years. Them and Liberty have been two teams, both in Virginia, that have played at a very high level in making that transition from the 63 scholarship to now the 105 equivalents.
And in the American Conference Championship, Tulane, they always had that game. I know they cut it to 31-21, but Tulane went down and kicked that field goal, and it kind of seemed like they were in control of it. The thing I found interesting, and you might not find it interesting, aren't both of those coaches gone?
Well, Sumrall he's on his way to Florida. I don't know the North Texas coach. That sounds right, though, Mick.
I thought he just got a job. I can't remember where, but I just find it ironic that both of those coaches
got to coach and Kiffin
did not. But again, that's a whole different subject. I understand that. But the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, here's two coaches that aren't even going to be there next year. It's just kind of ironic. What does this do for Tulane with that win?
Well, the thing about Tulane is most of our listeners won't understand how rich of a football tradition they have. You and I talked about them last week. They were in the original SEC. Then they went to a very powerful conference in the South called the Metro. And then over time, the LSU emerged, and, we're talking going back to the 20s and 30s. And so things have changed. But Tulane is really a high-powered football program out of New Orleans. And, I really thought North Texas was going to beat them. No, North Texas is the highest scoring, or was the highest scoring offense in the country. They were averaging over 40 points a game. Late in that game, they only had 7.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, whatever Tulane is doing, whatever Summerall put together is very effective. And then North Texas kept turning the ball over, as you probably saw. A couple times in their end zone, they threw picks. So it was just not their night. But a huge win for Tulane. And I would tell you right now, they are in as arguably the 4th highest ranked conference champion, unless Virginia wins. Virginia could be ahead of them depending on how that game goes, but they are definitely in. And then if Duke were to upset UVA today, then, Mick, you could end up with James Madison from the Sun Belt getting in as well. And the ACC would really then come down to Miami.
Well, there's a lot of moving parts yet here, and we're only a day away. I found it interesting. They said that North Texas quarterback last night did not start a game in high school.
Really?
A varsity game.
I did not know that.
It was just mythified of how you find gems sometimes and how people find you. I just found that very interesting.
Well, a player development, Mick. We don't hear a lot about. We hear about the constellations. This one's a 5 and 4. Player development's real. All you got to do is look how effectively a team like Northwestern plays in the Big Ten when they don't recruit near like them, but they develop their players. And so, you get these guys that walk in. And my favorite story as a high school coach was Al Malik. He came to Newman. He was 5'6". He inverted the numbers. He grew to 6'5", and he ended up getting money to play basketball down at Marion College of Fond du Lac. So you really don't know who's going to develop. And Mick, I've seen you do it over the years with whether it's your track athletes or your football players. I've watched you do it, and so it's real. And some of these teams, they don't have guys trotting off to the league. And, my brother Pat's team, when he was at St. Francis, they went out and beat San Francisco. They went over and beat Northern Iowa. These are Division I basketball teams. When he had seniors, when those guys, because, man, they knew how to play and they were tough. They were tough. And so they'd line up and they could beat those teams.
Yep. And the last one here before we go to break, Boise State beat UNLV 38-21. The game was at Boise State, and it I thought they always were in control of that one.
Yeah. Well, Danny Mullen, who I've always liked. Now, my son Michael has a different opinion on, and Mike does a lot of studying with this stuff. But I thought Danny Mullen was going to be the answer at Florida. And then COVID. I'll be all right in a minute, Mick. I probably got it. It hit, and he seemed to just get whacked out with, they weren't allowing people in. The president of Florida was he was a medical doctor, and he was telling Danny, you don't know what you're talking about. Just go over there on the sideline. But nonetheless, he's at UNLV now. And, that's where Barry Odom was, the current coach at Purdue. He left there, but he got them going. Big game last night. I really liked the season that Boise had. They had a stretch in the middle. Mick, where it's Spencer Daniels, I think, is the coach there. He's a Boise State guy, and he has done real good work there, Mick.
Yep.
And they kept playing, even when it looked like they were kind of falling out of it. And here they are, the Mountain West champs, not ranked high enough to get into the playoffs. But, man, he's done as good a job as anybody around the country.
And UNLV was 10-2, I think, going into that game.
Yes.
But going to Boise State on a cold night is a little different than probably playing in Vegas. But yeah, I'm just taking a shot in the dark on that one. They looked a little cold out there when I was watching them.
Yeah. Mick, I always want, and I don't see it, Boise State to play Eastern Washington. And the reason I'd like to see that game, maybe home and home,
Yep.
is Boise has a blue field,
yep,
and Eastern Washington has a red field. And one of those people who study, turf and grass and such, they were saying the field was going to turn pink when it got with the water,
cool.
So now they treat it every year to make sure it stays red. But yeah, they've never played. One's an FCS program in the Big Sky, but I'm with you on Boise. They just kept playing. It's their tradition. They knew how to win, and when things went wrong, they stepped up.
Yep.
To me, that's mental toughness.
Great win for Boise State. We have to take a break. You are listening to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO.
Choose an agency with true 5G coverage. Advantage Insurance of Wausau. Great companies, great agents, great service, great rates, and great claims results. At Advantage Insurance, they support our local community and back you always. Call Advantage Insurance today for all of your insurance needs, or go to AdvantageInsuranceWausau.com. They offer top-rated coverage and the best agents that provide you a true 5G experience for the best total coverage for all your insurance needs.
Chief, we've got a situation.
What is it?
Trouble at the naval base, sir. I'll put it on the screen.
Jiminy Christmas, what happened to all our boat covers?
That's not the worst of it, sir.
No!
Afraid so, sir.
Not the boat upholstery, too. All those holes? It looks like Swiss cheese.
It's funny you mention that, sir. We found the culprit.
All right, Mouse, who are you working for? The Russians? Take him to the brig and get Agent Dwayne from CIA on the horn now. Dwayne's covered off. Dwayne speaking. Agent Dwayne, your country needs you. A terrorist mouse has chewed up every single boat cover and piece of upholstery in the Navy.
I'll patch up what I can and replace what I can't.
Agent Dwayne, you're a great American.
Just doing my job.
Boat covers, seat upholstery, camper, deck, or patio awnings. When you need something covered or upholstered, call the CIA. Dwayne's Cover It All. Commercial accounts are welcome. Call or email Dwayne. Visit Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com.
Tommy's Express Car Wash at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston has the tools and experience to keep your car clean inside and out. Our wash packages let you pay for the services you want, including Tommy Garden Body Wax, wheel cleaning and tire gloss, an underbody flush and spot-free rinse. Give your vehicle the cleaning it deserves at Tommy's Express at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston.
It takes a lot to impress us at Jim Krishock Jewelers. I mean, we see gorgeous diamonds, gemstones, and incredible jewelry every day that we've chosen for our selection. But when a diamond jewelry line like this one comes along, well, our eyes really widen up and our mouths drop open and our hearts beat a little faster. Yours will too when you stop in and check out our Fire and Ice collection of diamonds and diamond jewelry. Their slogan is bigger, brighter, whiter. And it's a difference you can see, which is the most important. Each Fire and Ice diamond is cut to maximize the performance of light coming into and leaving the diamonds to create amazing sparkle and brilliance. So whether you're planning on getting engaged or upsizing your current diamond, or just want something completely new with more sparkle and dazzle than you've ever seen before, stop in and check out our Fire and Ice collection. It's exclusively available right here at Jim Krishock Jewelers at our one and only location on Rib Mountain Drive in Wausau.
Joe Rader Towing in Wausau offers 24-hour-a-day towing, lockout service, and roadside assistance throughout central Wisconsin. You can count on Joe Rader's experienced team to get to you fast. Family owned and operated. When you need a tow, call Joe at 715-212-4762.
The Intermission Bar, located in the heart of downtown Wausau, is a warm, friendly, comfortable spot to enjoy time with old friends and meet new ones as well. Free live music 3 nights a week featuring some of the Midwest's finest talent. The Intermission, a social establishment.
And welcome back to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. I'm Paul Miklick, and here with Sully for segment 2 of the show. This one we always, or the last 2 weeks, I shouldn't say always. It's just it's been out when I've been here. We go through the Badgers from last week and kind of look forward to next year, ready for the Badgers. They will not have a bowl game.
Sadly,
last week they lost 17-7 to Minnesota. So I thought that was a game they should have had there. I got to ask you, Sal, because this is one of those things. When are we going to stop? Like, I understand if you beat a ranked team that you rush the field, but when we start rushing the field for beating a Wisconsin team that's 4-8, have we lost our mind?
I think it's more of a social phenomenon now than it is a celebration of a great win. I think that, whatever this generation does, they do. But it's certainly not like the old days when, a number 2 team or number 1 team is at your arena and you beat them and you're really barely bowl eligible. Then it's something to get excited about. But other than, the action, there's some big things. It's the oldest rivalry in the FBS. So there's great things about this game. But I really don't know how to answer it other than it's just kind of social media. Let's charge the field and we'll all record.
We'll all record and have our TikToks and everything else out there, right, Sal?
I'm not sure what TikTok is.
I don't know either, but I think I heard the name before. So, but there was a game that Wisconsin, their defense played real well as usual lately. They held Minnesota 128 yards rushing, 90 yards passing, 128 yards. I think it was like a 45 or 50-yard run. It was like 70 yards,
sure,
to be honest with you. So you're talking about 160 yards, even 218 yards. They outgained them 268 to 218. The difference is, which we always talk about in football, turnovers.
Sure.
3-0. You're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over 3 times and the other team has 0, especially when they're probably even teams. You're not going to win those games, right?
Mick, I'm with you on that. And from your coaching how that works. Most times when you hear coaches talk, they'll say, hey, in college football, you got to be able to run the ball, stop the run. Run the ball, stop the run. Stop the run, run the ball. And if you look at this game, Minnesota held Wisconsin 86 yards rushing, and they won the turnover battle 3-0. You don't have to go much further in the stats that we provide each week when you're going to be rushing for under 100 yards. We always say 150 is the cut. You want to hold a team under 150, unless it's Army or Navy or somebody, then you're going to hold the passing to about 20. But nonetheless, you can't rush for 86 yards. And then the other thing you always look at is third down. And, the Badgers allowed Minnesota 50% conversion, 7 of 14, where they were about 25% or 33%. You can't stay on the field. And so the reality is you couldn't stop the run. You turned the ball over, and you were not very effective converting or defending third down. Those three stats, Mick, you're going to lose the game. Jeff Gress would tell you, if you turn the ball over, miss front ends, and allow second shots. I know as a basketball coach, I perfected not being able to do any of them very effectively, and it's a surefire way to lose a game.
Yes. So they end their year 4-8 overall, 2-7 in the Big Ten. Minnesota will get another game. They finished their regular season 7-5 and 5-4 in the Big Ten. And going to their schedule next year, the Badgers, I think it kind of flips. I thought Minnesota had the facts. They had the easier schedule this year than Wisconsin did, and I think it flips a little bit. We're just going to go through. I want you to give me your first initial reaction.
Okay.
With a win or a loss.
Okay.
All right. And that's how we'll finish here, this segment here. They play Notre Dame at Lambeau Field.
That's a Notre Dame home game, by the way. It's part of the Shamrock Series. When the teams played at Soldier Field, it was a Badger home game. And I would always more identify Chicago with Notre Dame than with the Badgers. But nonetheless, that's a loss. But Notre Dame recruits too well.
Saturday, or September 12th, I guess the date at this point doesn't really matter, but Western Illinois at Camp Randall.
That's a win.
All right, so we're at 1-1. Sul's got him 1-1 right now. All right, I like this. And then the third game, which was actually Pittsburgh at first.
You told me that. I did not realize that.
And it got moved to 2027, and they picked up Eastern Michigan, which I think would be a better pickup, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. Chris Creighton has been there for about 15 years. In fact, he may be the longest tenured coach now in the MAC. He's done good work there, but it won't matter. The Badgers will win that game, and they'll win it easily.
2-1 right here. So, because Pitt would have been definitely a tougher opponent.
No, Pitt, Pat Narduzzi is a caricature. That guy could be at his great-grandmother's funeral, and he'd find something to complain about Notre Dame about while he was there, trying to celebrate grandma's life. He'd still find a way to yell about Notre Dame. So, yes, and they were formidable. They lost that last game to Miami, but nonetheless, Pitt would have been a far superior opponent than Eastern Michigan.
And the games that had not been with dates and times yet, but we'll just go down the list of who they have. We'll go. They have. The one thing about it is they got 5 road games this year, or next year, I should say, and 4 home games only for the Big Ten. But we'll start with at Iowa.
Yeah, a loss. Going to Kinnick, given the way Iowa plays defense, given the relative weakness of the Wisconsin offense, I don't expect that kind of metamorphosis, in 1 year, unless we hire Signetti, then maybe we can do it. But I would say Iowa will definitely be favored in that game.
All right, we're at 2-2 at Maryland.
Mike Loxley's got a great recruiting class coming in. That's one of the reasons they kept him. Personally, I was glad they did keep him. I think he's done good work there. But that class is not going to be in time to affect next year. Wisconsin should have beat them. They should have beaten them this year. They will beat them next year.
All right, Sully. I like Sully's confidence here. 3-2 at Penn State.
Well, as of yesterday, Maddie, not Rule, but Maddie Campbell, who I've always liked. He's a very good coach, done good work at Iowa State, but it was really time for him to go. So I'm glad he got an opportunity like Penn State. Roster's too good, Mick. They beat the Badgers.
So we got 3-3, right?
Correct.
Yep. At Purdue,
Okay. Now you're talking about a really good coach in Barry Odom. They will get it better in increments. That guy can coach.
Well, I hope they get better.
Okay.
They got no. That was a bad year for them.
That's a good point, Mick. They could not get worse.
Yes.
They've already gotten better from Brian Walters. That 1 year Odom made. They were competitive this year in a lot of games. They'll continue to grow, but no, they're not ready yet. The Badgers are ahead of them in their development. Wisconsin will beat Purdue next year.
And I'm going to say, because this will be our last one, we want to get to our guest here. UCLA, because I'm going to say the 4 home games, you're going to say all 4 wins for the home games.
I'm going to say that UCLA will run out of suntan lotion when we play them. They'll be short of C and ski or copper tone. So the Badgers will display Smash Mouth and they'll beat UCLA.
You think they'll beat UCLA?
I do.
Man.
I do. UCLA, they're trying to get out of their Rose Bowl deal. Did you know that? They don't want to play there anymore. They want to do something different. I'm not sure which. But I would say the Badgers, if we go back to a style that's identifiable, which, hopefully we're going to merge some of this spread stuff with the power game, there's no reason why they can't beat UCLA. UCLA is very good athletically, Mick, but they're not that good in the trenches.
All right. I like this. And again, because we were going to take a break here quick.
Well, you can finish
they can win those 4 games.
I would say Michigan State, again, they just fired their coach. But I got to tell you, they hired a guy that I very much admire.
Yep.
Pat Fitzgerald is there. And I was thrilled to see that Northwestern administration came out and said in their extensive investigation, they found no indicators that Coach Fitzgerald knew about any of this hazing going on, which, Rudy of the Rudy fame, his brother Francis worked at Northwestern when Pat Fitzgerald was playing. And he was 100% from the get-go. He knows him. He said there's no way he wouldn't have done something about it.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I would say Rutgers win, but then come the real Beach Boys. I would say SC will be a little much for the Badgers.
Okay, so that means 3 losses only.
Well, that's what it means.
That's what you have. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Bernie Ford, he had 7-5, or no, 8-4 maybe, and I think I had 7-5. So you got 9-3, 8-4, 7-5 myself, and a lot of things can change obviously between now and then, especially with the transfer portal. But it'll be interesting to see. And I like Sells. We'll go with Sell. But
yeah. Hey, and I gotta say, I was sorry to hear that Bernie identified that we had an error on the schedule, because Bernie is one of the few guys I'm pretty sure I could beat in checkers that live in Wausau. So I'm not too happy that he had the schedule right and I did not.
Yes, he did, and that was a shout out to him for helping helping me out on that. We are going to take a break, and we're going to be coming back with our guest. You're listening to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO.
I only travel once or twice a year, but when I do, I go big. Exotic places, incredible hotels, new experiences. It has to be memorable. That's why I call Travel Leaders of Wausau. They get me, and they take care of all the details, so I don't have to worry about a thing.
Travel Leaders gets you, and we get you there. Travel better. Call Travel Leaders of Wausau at 715-355-4437.
And can't forget the sandals. And the right sunglasses.
Hello, my name is Steve Brickner. Here at Brickner Motors in Little Chicago, we'll help you order your brand new Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, or Jeep and get it equipped the way you want it and the color you've always dreamed of. That means you won't overpay for something you don't want. Quality vehicles and competitive prices are what keep people coming back again and again. Make the drive out to Brickner Motors on Little Chicago's northeast side and let our family take care of your family.
You can count on us. Yes, you can. The Kuhn Hearing Center is a family-owned and operated hearing care facility located at 1699 Schofield Avenue, Suite 106 in Schofield. Dr. Tim Kuhn has been practicing audiology in the greater Wausau-Weston area for 26 years. Dr. Kuhn works closely with several audiology agencies, including Signia Hearing Aids and Accessories, which provides access to the latest and most advanced technologies in the hearing industry. For more info, check them out online at kuhnhearing.com or call 715-298-5511.
Big Fat Designs can give your company the cutting-edge look it needs to attract customers and stand out from the rest. From websites and print designs to logos and letterheads, Big Fat Designs is your effective and affordable marketing solution. E-commerce, online customer database, video and audio players, Big Fat Designs does it all. And the best part, you deal with someone locally to talk with, to meet with, working hands-on towards your success. Big Fat Designs in Wausau. Find out more online at bigfatdesigns.com.
Experience a culinary journey at Oliva's at Gulliver's Landing. Indulge in our unique supper club atmosphere and savor mouth-watering steaks, seafood, pasta, and sandwiches. Join us for an unforgettable dining experience. Oliva's at Gulliver's Landing, Gadwall Lane in Wausau.
And welcome back to Sully's College Football Page on this beautiful morning, Saturday morning, right? No, I was thinking because we got Deacon Maher in here this morning. I was going to say I didn't want to be wrong on this, but it was going to be it's a second week of Advent, right?
Mick, if I were you, I wouldn't worry.
I know
about
I wouldn't worry
wrong,
about that.
you know?
I know that's why I hesitated there for a second. I was going to try to act like I was smart for a second, and then I was like, maybe I better not say that and throw that on there.
Mike's son Mike is here also,
Yep.
and you know they're both through with you. Mourning can be a very difficult concept. So when you struggled on that word, we were good with it.
But we want to introduce our guest this morning from Holy Name. Deacon Maher, he's been at Wausau East. He was a teacher there for many years. And we got the pleasure of having him as a colleague over at Newman Catholic for many more years. And then he went over to Holy Name Parish to start or to help out with the school over there. So and he's got his son here today, who's an engineer at Greenheck, correct? And I know, Sully, you like to always start off with your sayings about what you have your routine of what you say going on there. But two fine people, you're not going to find a better a pair of people. Deacon Maher is a tremendous human being, so we're excited to have him here this morning. And Sully, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, you know, and just to kind of follow up with what Mick said, Mike, you know. When I became the principal at Newman, I saw Michael one day at Resurrection, and he was exactly what we were looking for. Given the disparity between salaries, you know, it would be hard for us to get high quality kids coming out of school. And then, as you know, Mike, it was hard to keep them when the public school paid about $20,000 more a year. So when Mike came over, it immediately impacted our rigor. Laura Place, another colleague of Mike's who was a great teacher at East High. And I had the privilege to work with him when I was at East High earlier, so I knew his quality. But anyway, guys, before we begin, I'd like to give a big shout out to our guest today, Deacon Mike Maher and his son Michael, representing Holy Name Parish and all the nonprofit charities, parishes, missions, volunteers, and schools who serve our community and beyond. As a result of our sponsors' support, Sully's College Football Page was able to identify and provide financial support to the following: Hager House, the Women's Community, Bridge Street Mission, Newman Catholic Schools, Holy Name Parish, the Good News Project, Maine All-Volunteer Fire Department, the Humane Society, Knock MS Out of the Park, St. Vincent de Paul Society, Wausau Free Medical Clinic, the National MS Society, Children's Miracle Network, and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So on behalf of our sponsors, Civic Media, Bull Falls Radio, and Sully's College football page, we want to give a big congratulations to the great work you do, or congratulations for the work you do in Wausau and beyond, Mike. So thank you guys for taking the time out of your day and to come in. And Mick, I have to warn you, Mike brought his son, Mike, who was a ringer when it comes to trivia, so we could have a problem.
On here. And just so you know, because we're a little behind, hopefully you guys can stay for 2 segments. We'll take a break here halfway in between here. But I know we want to Deacon Maher talk a little bit about, before he starts, about Holy Name and how it's going over there.
Sure.
We're
very proud of what we have accomplished at Holy Name Parish. We opened a classical school a little over a year ago, and our enrollment is up from last year.
Very good.
We have great teachers. In fact, 4 of our people are from Steubenville University, Franciscan University in Steubenville, Ohio.
Wow.
We are true to the classical format. Our little ones start out in grammar. Our middle school students go to logic, and we teach them the logical format. We teach them how to reason with syllogisms using the Aristotelian method. And then we hope at some point that we're going to be able to expand into the final stage of classical education, rhetoric, which would encompass grades 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we're hoping to be able to do that in the actually near future. We can't say that we're going to do it yet, but we're very hopeful that we may be able to do that soon.
Very good. Now, I got to tell you, I did sub, I'm a social studies teacher. And Mike, I probably shouldn't say this on the air. It's going to hurt my credibility is not an issue. But anyway, I once pronounced hyperbole in it when I was subbing as hyperbole. It is spelled Hyperbo. And so when you said rhetoric, Michael, I got to tell you that hyperbole popped right in my head. So,
well, I can understand why you'd say hyperbole, because you're talking about the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and all these other bowls. So the hyperbole makes sense.
I'm glad you're here. I knew there was a reason you were here today, Mike. So very good. All right. So we'll start now to celebrate this time of year, which is a great time of year, with some trivia questions. Now, you guys have 5 questions. Is that correct?
You said that you would give us 5 questions.
Okay, then here's what we'll do. I'll do the questions, and Mick, I don't know if I should use the word.
I never signed up for this. I never signed up for work.
I can't promise how much support Mick will be, but he will be encouraging. All right, so I'll ask questions. We'll do 5, and then we'll come back, talk a little more about Holy Name.
Sounds good.
All right, now, in the song Frosty the Snowman, what made Frosty come to life?
It was a magic hat, I believe.
Yes, it was. Mick was all over there, too. I could see it.
Yeah, I saw him lip sync.
Yes, he was.
I would have been Googling that pretty quick on there.
Yeah, and to be technical, it was the old silk hat. Okay. All right. This one, boys, you should be all over. Let me get rid of this. Go away. There we got it. Who played George Bailey in the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life?
No, it's Jimmy Stewart.
It's Jimmy Stewart.
Wow, these guys are really good. These guys are good.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know? Did you know it too? Yeah.
I just let him answer.
I even you knew that
No,
one.
I don't know. I probably did, or maybe not.
All right. All right, this one's a little more challenging. We'll see what you guys got now. Mick, feel free to jump right in here, buddy.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What Christmas themed ballet premiered in St. Petersburg, Russia in 1892?
Well, it's got to be the Nutcracker. That's,
Wow.
right?
100%. It's the Nutcracker. I told you, Ringer.
He is a ringer. So you got to give us some more difficult questions here.
All right,
Maybe, you know what? I got 5 questions after you're done, after they talk about Holy Name a little more. So we'll finish your 5 questions, and then we'll take a break, and we'll come back, talk about Holy Name a little bit, and then I'll have 5 questions. And I'll see how many you know with them. Because I know right now they're hitting it pretty hot, good.
We can get, you guys want harder questions?
I think we're just fine where we are.
No. That you guys, that was too quick. That's not even, you guys aren't even thinking about it.
All right, let me find one that's a little different. All right, in Christmas Story, what happens to Ralphie's friend as a result of triple dog dare to a classmate?
I never saw that movie, so I got
have
nothing.
never seen that movie.
Hey, I
I'm
actually
one
know
of the
this, I
only
think.
people. So Mick, it's all yours.
He gets his tongue stuck to the pole.
Mick's all
Look at
over
this.
it now.
Hey, I know one. Hey, I do one. I
right.
might just leave right now. I can't. I'm at the top of my game right now.
All right, I'm gonna go up a little bit now to where it says out of Mick's range.
This is your 5th question, then we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, okay, buddy. I got it. All right, let's see now. Okay. What holiday standard recorded in 1994 surpassed 2 billion Spotify streams in 2024?
It's pretty quiet here.
Yeah, you
Whoa,
guys
this
are.
is yeah.
So let me read it again.
Read it again one more time.
What holiday standard, song that's standard for the time recorded in 1994 surpassed 2 billion Spotify streams in 2024?
I'm kind of guessing All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Bingo.
All
Wow.
right, there we go.
That's it.
Wow.
All right.
Wow, you pulled that out.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I was thinking mid-90s,
Yeah, it
That's
was-
good.
All
That is
right.
really good. I was
That-
thinking like that's
and I'm
farm
thinking
outside
that's
or whatever.
Mariah Carey, right?
Mariah Carey.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Because I was thinking Wham, but Wham did that last Christmas. You know that song
Right, yep,
last Christmas.
yep.
Well, that
Okay.
sounds as old as I am. I'm 31 years old. I was born in 1994.
So you should have known that, Ian. You could.
I did know it.
Did you know it? Did you know it? All right. Hey, then feel free to help
That's
us
a
out
song
over
that's
here,
a
Ian.
constant meme on Facebook every year. It's a song that everybody knows it's coming and they can't get it out of their heads.
It's a good song. It is a good song.
It is
And
a
Mariah
good song.
Carey is a tremendous singer. We are going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with the Mahers here, and we'll get some questions from my end to Sully and them coming back on 98.9 WXCO.
Thinking about changing to organic or natural foods? Then you need to stop at Red Clover Market at the Total Rental location in Weston. Family owned Red Clover Market, your healthy natural food store. Open Monday through Saturday. Looking for a part for your vehicle? Look to Hilltop Auto Wrecking in Wausau. Hilltop Auto Wrecking can help you find just about any part you need for your car, truck, or SUV. They have a great selection of auto glass and tires with lots of sizes ready to go. Hilltop Auto Wrecking is always looking to buy vehicles, so if you're stuck with an older junker, they can haul it away for cash. Hilltop Auto Wrecking, family owned and operated for over 40 years at 237-934 Del Rio Road, formerly 6806 North 33rd Street, Wausau. Call 715-675-3258.
For more than 60 years, Sun Printing has been Central Wisconsin's commercial printer of choice due to their commitment to quality, creative solutions, and dedicated service. Sun Printing's team offers you a wide spectrum of services. Whether you need offset, digital, large format, graphic design, or mailing, they print everything under the sun. No project is too big or too small. So give Sun Printing a call at 845-4911 or visit them online at sunprinting.com.
Since 1981, Lopno's has been Wausau's favorite sports bar. Grab a bit of Wausau's past while you're watching your favorite sports teams at their historic turn-of-the-century establishment. Lopno's is the perfect place to catch all the sports action on their 15 enormous flat-screen TVs, enjoy a night on the town with friends, or have a celebration in their private party room. A great place for birthdays, anniversaries, clubs, or meetings. Lopno's, Wausau's oldest and finest sports bar, 3rd Street, Wausau.
For over 40 years, Champion Insurance has been helping business owners protect themselves. They also offer protection for your home, auto, and other personal assets as well. Local family owned and operated. Champion Insurance. They got you covered. Schofield Avenue, Schofield.
Come on down to Cheeks Bar and Grill on East Wausau Avenue in Wausau. Open for dine-in or takeout Tuesday through Friday, 2 p.m. till close. Saturday, 12 p.m. till close. Sunday, 12 until 8 p.m. Check them out on Facebook, and we hope to see you at Cheeks Bar and Grill in Wausau.
And welcome back to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. I'm Paul Micklig here with Sully and the two Mahers, Deacon Maher. And he's here representing the Holy Name and the classical school that they have over there. And we'd like to give you a little bit more time. It's always interesting to hear and different things that they do. And you know, you're talking about the teachers off air, and we know them. And actually, 3 of those 4 that you were talking about were Newman Catholic graduates. I think coached 2 of the 3 over my time there, and the other teacher, I coach her son right now in 7th grade basketball. So I know the staff over there pretty well, and so we'd like to hear a little bit more about Holy Name.
We do have a great staff, and as I was saying off air, that most of our teachers are graduates of Franciscan University in Steubenville, Ohio. They come in with great enthusiasm. We are very proud that we are a Catholic school, and Catholicism permeates every class that we teach every part of the day. We begin 3 days a week at Mass. Those 2 days that we don't, we begin every day with the Rosary. And the teachers are wonderful in guiding the faith of these children. I was also saying that I'm so proud of this school that when my son, who's here today, moved back to Wausau from Milwaukee, and he asked what school should our little girl attend, my granddaughter, I said there's only one school that I would want her at, and that's Holy Name. And I think that he's been pretty happy with that.
That is great to hear, and there's nothing better, I'm sure, when you go in there and to see her. That makes in a great, safe spot, and to see her happy and thriving is what you want as any parent or grandparent.
And quickly, Mike, I want you to know that Father Martin did call back yesterday. He called me. We were seeing if, before we knew Michael could make it, if maybe Father Martin, who was a pastor at Holy Name and then a big proponent of the classical school, but he had that pesky thing, Mass, that he had to do. So we said, we'll give you a bye.
Yes. And sometimes that, we'll get in the way there. I'm going to ask a couple questions here. And see if mine are a little more difficult than Sul's. I got to give him a hard time. In what country did the tradition of decorating Christmas trees start?
I think I know this.
I think I do too. Go ahead.
We're going to converse here. So this doesn't.
This is
Germany.
Germany.
We're saying Germany.
Wow. You guys know a lot of stuff. I thought that was going to be a little more difficult.
Maybe your questions aren't as hard
Well,
as you think.
maybe they're as hard for me. Maybe that was what I was thinking. My bad. All right. This has got to be a little more difficult. Who wrote the poem "A Visit from St. Nicholas" the night before Christmas?
Boy, I've read that a zillion times, and I don't remember the poet's name.
No idea.
Ian, you got any help? Let's phone a friend. We're
I
phoning
actually
you.
don't know either.
All right.
I know the story, but I don't know.
All right. Well, at least then Clement Clark Moore.
That doesn't
Yeah, I
help
did not
me.
know that.
No. I would have. Okay. Now that I've shown that I can go way out of the bounds and not and at least get one question. Now we'll get back to reality and ask questions that are a little more.
What day of the year is
realistic.
Christmas?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't say that easy. This is more of an easier one. What popular Christmas beverage is also called milk punch?
Oh, we know this.
It's gotta be eggnog, right?
Yeah.
It's eggnog.
Yeah.
Let's say
Eggnog.
eggnog.
It's bing, 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 bing. All right, you guys are. See, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah,
I
you're
try
all
to.
over it, man.
All right. This is. I feel like a little more. This is an easy one. How many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol?
I know this. It's a trick question, mate.
It is a trick question. It is a trick
Because
question.
people think past, present, and future, and they forget that guy. What was his name?
Jacob
Marley.
Marley.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so 4. Like when you're playing golf out by your house there, Mick, and you hit the ball right after
Yeah,
you
it better be.
swing.
Yeah, you got that right. It better be 4. If I'm hitting anything, it's not going anywhere straight. That's for sure. Yes, 4 is the answer here. All right, you guys are flying through these now. What are the 2 most popular names for Santa Claus?
Well, Chris Kringle's got to be one, right?
St.
St.
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
St. Nicholas.
And what is
it.
today, guys? That's why I asked that question. You guys know what today
Today
is?
is St. Nick's
Day.
Day.
Yeah. Yep. On there.
In fact, at our school, they celebrated yesterday, but all the kids put shoes out, and they got little chocolate coins, little chocolate St. Nicholas's, and little mandarin oranges in their shoes.
Really?
To celebrate
That's a
St.
good
Nicholas.
deal.
That's something that we've done for the past 2 years, and I know some of the other Newman schools do that as well.
Yep.
Good.
And then
Good.
that's a good tradition on there. And I'm gonna.
Is that 4, Mick?
Yeah, this is the last one.
So
I'm
we
gonna-
got 3 or 4. We're at 75%. The worst we're going to be is no.
C.
Yeah.
We got to
right.
see.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta get a tough one here to find out here.
Then we'd be at 60, Mick.
I know. Well, I want to be like I'm tough here. In which modern day country was Saint Nicholas born? In which modern day country was Saint Nicholas born?
Yeah,
I think I
it was
know this
Turkey.
one.
I think you're right.
Is it a turkey?
It is
Go with
Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
It is Turkey.
Oh,
It is Turkey.
nice.
Ian, him and Chad always.
We're going to
have
move
questions.
you out of that cave you're in back
Yeah,
there.
he's got an advantage over there. Yeah, Chad keeps you back there. You should come out here a little bit more. We want to end up and we want to thank the Mahers for coming out this morning. And it was a great having a little Christmas trivia
Right.
and hearing about holy names. So you got the last word, Deacon Maher.
Well, again, we are really delighted with Holy Name School. It is following a classical format, and our enrollment is up from last year. It's not a school that is for everybody. There are people that want a very heavy dose of Catholicism, and they get that. In a classical format, the students that are in grammar are learning to recite, they're memorizing, and those skills will carry them into logic and rhetoric. Our point is to not just get kids ready for the next step going on to college, but to teach them how to think, to speak, and how to deal with things logically and to understand what is true, good, and beautiful.
Yep. You know, Mike, and I really think the Newman Catholic Administration to recognize another venue to reach children in their community and provide that really does great things for the future of the faith. And in the immediate, it gets more kids involved in what I would say, and I know Mick would agree, a great Catholic system that we have here in Wausau.
And that's exactly right. We complement the other Newman schools, and we are just another campus in the Newman system.
And everything was beautiful this morning. Deacon Maher, as always, first class, a guy. You'll never meet a better guy than him. So I don't know why he's with me and Sully here this morning, but or maybe just me. I'll let you out of that one.
You can speak for yourself.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But we appreciate you guys coming here this morning, and we will be back after the hour here on 98.9 WXCO.
Buck Welsh has been working in the golf business since 1976, became a PGA member in 1984, and has been teaching for over 40 years. His philosophy has always been to work with the individual golfer, building on the way they do things and making them better with what they have to work with. Call Buck at 715-581-2646 or check out the website www.bucksgolfshop.com to get more info about lessons.
Eye Clinic of Wisconsin believes that clear vision and hearing are priceless. Eye Clinic of Wisconsin is equipped to handle all your eye and hearing care needs. When you need specialty and surgical eye care, why not work with the best? Let the team of professionals at Eye Clinic of Wisconsin see you. Eye Clinic of Wisconsin has 7 convenient locations that include Wausau, Amtigo, Medford, Merrill, Rhinelander, Stevens Point, and Wisconsin Rapids. Visit their Facebook page or website at www.eyeclinicwi.com. Eye Clinic of Wisconsin, one vision, yours.
As a proud member of the Wausau Marathon, Edgar, and Athens communities, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home has built a reputation for having a deep commitment to personal service. When you need compassionate concern and expert guidance day or night, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home is the one to call. You can trust them to take care of every detail at a time it matters most. Located in Wausau, Marathon, Edgar, and Athens, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home, friends you've trusted and depended on since 1914. Krasowski Dental offers the most effective cosmetic and neuromuscular dentistry procedures and treatments. When you walk through the doors, you'll experience an incredibly comfortable and pleasant atmosphere where you'll be treated like family. Krasowski Dental offers 24-hour emergency service and care so you don't have to wait, and offers many of the newest dental technologies and perks to make your dental experience comfortable and less stressful. Schedule your appointment now with Krasowski Dental, North 17th Avenue, Wausau.
Don't you just love a good football game? Don't you just love a new car or a new truck or a new motorcycle? And don't you just love saving money? Then you'll love Clover Belt Credit Union, your go-to team for saving money with a great rate vehicle loan. Great rates are what make Clover Belt the leader in vehicle loans. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, ATVs. If it's got a motor and it rolls on wheels, Clover Belt Credit Union has the great rate financing you want. Give us a call and we'll get your great rate loan rolling. Clover Belt Credit Union, your team for great rates.
The Dirks Group started in 1999 as an alternative to traditional IT service providers. From the start, they focused on customized solutions for the needs of each client. Today, they serve over 400 customers from locations in Wausau and Eau Claire. Go to dirksgroup.com for more information.
Charity's Bar in Marathon City. Great food, great service, a great place to meet friends. Come on down and watch the game or just hang out. It's Charity's Bar on County Road and in Marathon City.
Witness the difference at Newman Catholic Schools, where education is embraced by the Christian faith and students are held to a high standard of academic excellence. Schedule a tour and learn what it means to be a Newman Catholic Cardinal. Visit NewmanCatholicSchools.com to learn more.
WXCO 1230 AM, W255DN Wausau, streaming at bullfallsradio.com.
And welcome back to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. And we are starting our second hour with our second guest. It's been a good first hour here, and we're excited to have Derek Hutchinson from Cloverbelt Credit Union on here this morning. Derek, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
You know, we just off air here quickly, we were talking about your name is spelled with an A. Man, I know this is way off topic here, but this is interesting how the D-A-R-A-K.
Correct. I'd love to know the origin of it, but I don't. My dad doesn't remember. I can tell you.
I don't know your dad, but I'm getting to like him.
I know. I was saying,
right?
I like your dad right there.
But I'll tell you what. Try to find a coffee mug with that on it.
Yes.
It ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen. So when you go on vacations, you try to find that keychain with, it's a little difficult.
I search every truck stop imaginable. I haven't found it yet.
You know, I got to be honest, Dick, that would have never came to mind. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Because I'll be honest with you, I was thinking last night when I was going through this, I was like, he was saying, hey, any mistakes? And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's probably a mistake, but I'll let that go. But you know what? Sully was right. I was wrong. That is correct. So Sully
First time for everything.
First time for everything. Yes. I'm starting to like this guy too already.
Enjoy yourself here, Dick, because this will be your last visit.
It's mine too, so it's all right. We'll both go out together. I know Sully obviously always starts with his saying here before we talk about Cloverbelt Credit Union a little bit. Sully, take it away.
Yeah, this is just a way to say thank you to our sponsors, Derek. So before we begin, we'd like to give a big shout out to our guest today, Derek Hutchinson, CCU from Cloverbelt Credit Union. He's the chief lending officer there, and to all our sponsors. You know, as a result of their willingness to partner with Sully's College football page, we were able to reach our 2025 goal of donating $150 to volunteer agencies, schools, and charitable institutions in our area and beyond. These donations, Derek, were given to the following: Hager House, a woman's community, Bridge Street Mission, Newman Catholic Schools, Holy Name Parish, the Good News Project, Maine All-Volunteer Fire Department, the Humane Society, Knock MS Out of the Park, St. Vincent de Paul Society, Wausau Free Medical Clinic, the National MS Society, Children's Miracle Network, and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So on behalf of these services, schools, charities, Civic Media, Bull Falls Radio, and Sully's College football page would like to give you, Derek, a big thank you, and to all our sponsors who make these donations possible. So Cloverbelt has been with us from the beginning, and so always great to have a rep in here. So welcome, Derek.
Thank you, Sully.
Yeah, if you can talk about Cloverbelt Credit Union a little bit, and how long maybe you've been there also to start off with.
Sure. First of all, just want to say thanks, guys, for having me on. Cloverbelt is happy to partner with you guys. We all love this community, you know, and I think one of the best ways to make it a great place to live is by being able to give to so many organizations in this town. You just rattled off a whole bunch that do a lot of good work that a lot of us we don't know the fine details, but they're affecting and helping people. And Cloverbelt follows that same mission. So Cloverbelt's been around for a very long time in this community. I've been there 15 years, and my whole 15, I have seen Cloverbelt being extremely generous in a lot of different ways, not only donation wise, but volunteering and partnering with local organizations around town.
Yeah, and I honestly, I've seen the same thing, you know, with Paul and now with Lori, you know, two people that are community spirited, which is always a great way for a business to conduct itself, you know. So we're appreciative that you're with us. And, you know, what you said earlier, a great number of charities and people who provide services, that's an absolute fact, because we go to about 12 or 13 of them, and we could do that times 10.
Yeah,
there are so many worthwhile charities in our area. So, all right,
we're gonna have a little fun here this morning with picking some games. just so everybody knows out there, last week, Sully over the years has never actually kept track of.
I'm undefeated.
Yeah. In his mind, he is undefeated. But since I knew I was coming back this week, I kept track of last week, and Sully lost last week. I know this is shocking, but he lost. You lost to the France Propane last week. So, and I told him
Not Pat.
Michael. Well,
Let's
his
be
son.
clear about that.
I did tell that that I was going to mention that they beat you last night. So I had to do it. But we're going to start off with a few games here, and Lehigh versus Villanova. Lehigh's at home, right?
Yeah, they're the home team.
On there. And I just didn't know if it was a neutral site or not.
No, these guys, they play.
This is all the
FCS. We had to do this to you, Derek, because we ran out of games. We only have 5 bowl games or championship weekend games left, played 4 last night. And so these teams are from the FCS, which you and I spoke to. So you're good with it.
And everybody watches Lehigh. So, I mean,
hey, it's the oldest.
There's a lot of interest there.
It is the oldest rivalry. I'm with you on that. It's the oldest rivalry in all of college football. That's real. Against Lafayette, those two teams have played more often than the Badgers, Minnesota.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with you.
All right. Sounds good.
Who are you going to pick between Lehigh and Villanova?
Well, I want to say Villanova will probably put up a good fight, and they've historically won. But Lehigh, I think with their running game and their running defense, they're going to pull it out.
And there you have it. Now, Lehigh is in the Patriot League, which, Derek, I have to say, would not be as good a league as you've alluded to with Villanova. I'm going to separate here and only mark this down if I'm right. Villanova, playing in what would be, and I'm not going to say the Colonial Athletic Association. Ooh, I already did. They changed their name to the Coastal Athletic Association. But anyway, better league. Even though Lafayette, not like that. That's sacrilege saying Lafayette when you mean Lehigh. But nonetheless, Lehigh is undefeated, as you know. I'm going to go with Villanova, Mick.
Wow, you're not playing basketball, right?
We're not?
No, they're playing because then I would have picked Villanova, but that's just me. I don't know. So Sel's going with Villanova, the upset on the road. All right, now there we got right away. First one was somebody's different. The second one here we got Mercer's at home. I'm always a Mercer fan.
You are?
My brother worked there for a few years.
Really?
Yeah, and a couple of there's a kid that went from Merrill down there to play basketball, and he had a big shot in the NCAA tournament just probably within the last 5 to 7 years. I don't know if you remember that, but he hit a big shot for Mercer in like a game-winning shot. They won. They beat somebody to have an upset.
Is that Jesperson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. South Dakota comes from a strong conference though, and always good. But we got Mercer at home against South Dakota. Sul, I'm going to let you start with this one.
Okay, now Mercer is in the SoCon, Derek, which is one of the better leagues. I would say about 10 years ago, it was the best league in the FCS. But teams keep migrating from there. Georgia State left, Georgia Southern left, Appalachian State left. So all these really effective teams in the FBS. So they were pretty dominant when they were playing in the 63 scholarship realm. Mercer lost this year to Presbyterian. And we were hoping Presbyterian, a team out of the Pioneer, and Mick, they don't give scholarships. They beat Mercer, which is unheard of, and South Dakota, Mick alluded to it. That's the best league in the FCS. So I'm going to say, based on that Presbyterian game, I'm going to go with South Dakota.
Yeah, so I can't argue with you. I got to go with South Dakota on this one. I think it might be close, but I think South Dakota pulls it out.
All right. So we're even Steven on that one. And I would agree with both of you guys on that one. The third one of the day, and Derek, we'll start with you on this one. And my cousin works at North Dakota State. He played there when they won a couple of national champions in the 90s. They're playing Illinois State. North Dakota State is a powerhouse, and there's nothing more to say about that. But Derek, what do you have on that one?
Yeah, I agree. North Dakota State's got a great program, and I don't think they have any problem today. Matter of fact, I think this might be the bigger point spread of the day. Yeah. So North Dakota State.
And I got to tell you, on Fridays for happy hour, we used to leave Joliet and go down to Illinois State. It was down in Bloomington, Normal area. But even all the good times there, I cannot go with Illinois State in this game. North Dakota State is a lot like Alabama and maybe even more dominating when Saban really had it going. They just show up and win. So they've already played Illinois State, beaten by about 25 or so. So I think it's more of the same. They'll take care of
North
business.
Dakota State beat Illinois State.
Did I say Illinois State?
Yeah.
No, that might have been related to happy hour, but no, it was definitely North Dakota State
on there. So that was on there, and we got two more here because that'll be the first 10, and then we're going to take a break and come back and talk with Derek about Clover Belt Credit Union a little bit more. Let's get to the next two here quick. Tarleton State. I'm going to be honest with you, Sal. That's the first time I ever heard that college.
They're brand new. Like they're only a couple of years.
Okay, so I'm not totally
level.
okay. So I'm not totally lost then.
No,
just a little bit.
Shockingly, you're not. Yes.
On there, we got Tarleton State against North Dakota, and Saul, what do you take in the newbies?
No, Tarleton State's really good. They had a great year this year. And then they played some games. I think they finished like 10-2. There goes something like that. I don't have in front of me. That really would not. The teams that beat them would not compete in the in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. So I'm going to go with North Dakota. I think they get this done. Although Tarleton had a great year.
Yeah, I agree. I think North Dakota is just a little bit more tested.
Yes, that's a good word.
I think it could be close. But, kind of like a 21-17 kind of thing. But I think North Dakota takes it.
All right. So that's 3 in a row you guys got here going on here.
I can't. One of these days, I'm going to have to disagree just to disagree. I can't
be
lining up with Sully the whole time.
Just remember, he lost last week. So you don't want to be on the same.
And, since the deacon was just here, there is some moral fiber still left in the room. I would have to say I made that up about being undefeated.
And the last one of the first 5 here, we have Montana at home against Yale. That's an interesting game. But Derek, who do you think win that one?
Well, I do think it is interesting. I think Montana's going to take it. I don't think Yale is a terrible team, but I just think they struggle. They make a great drive. They get to the red zone and they struggle. So I think for that reason, Montana takes it.
Harvard was unbeaten and they went through the Ivy League. They play, they start 3 weeks after everybody else. They only play 10 games and they have a big rivalry, the Ivy League, Mike. I didn't know this, with the Patriot League. So Georgetown and Bucknell and Colgate and those teams all play, Columbia and Brown and such. Anyway, the Yale did play Lafayette, check, Lehigh, and got smacked around. I don't think that Yale has the wherewithal to compete with Montana. Montana went through the season unbeaten, and then the last game of the year, Montana State did I say it already? Yeah, Montana State did beat them. So Montana wins this game. Harvard got crushed by Villanova in week 1. Mick. It was like 41-3. So I don't think Yale, they're out of their depth in this game.
All right. That's the first 5 here. We're going to take a quick break here and have more with Derek from Clover Belt Credit Union and the 5 picks. We got 5 more picks to go. The big hitters coming up here after the break on 98.9 WXEO.
Where did the good old days go? From going to the old A&W drive-in to cruising the strip in town, all things change. Some things stay consistent. For almost 75 years, Redant Insurance in Rib Mountain has been providing quality service to its customers. One of the oldest agencies in the area. Your family and neighbors come here. Now it's your turn. Call 715-845-9204. Click redantinsurance.com or stop by 227501 Rib Mountain Drive. Redant Insurance Agency, our family helping yours.
Tommy's Express Car Wash at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston has the tools and experience to keep your car clean inside and out. Our wash packages let you pay for the services you want, including Tommy Garden Body Wax, wheel cleaning and tire gloss, an underbody flush and spot-free rinse. Give your vehicle the cleaning it deserves at Tommy's Express at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston. You don't have to choose between personal, hometown service, and the latest banking technology. Brokaw Credit Union has it all. Whether you're looking to finance your first home, grow your savings, or get a new set of wheels, we're here to help. Check us out at brokawcu.com. It's hard to find great Italian food in Wausau unless you're familiar with Carmelo's Italian Restaurant. Established in 1986 by the Oliva family, 3 generations still strive to provide a family atmosphere and fine dining experience. Carmelo's is proud to serve authentic Italian made with fresh ingredients. Their recipes have been handed down from generation to generation. Reservations are recommended Tuesdays through Sundays, and they are closed on Mondays. Carmelo's Italian Restaurant, located at the base of Granite Peak on North Mountain Road, Wausau. Check them out at carmelositalian.com.
And welcome back this morning to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. And remember, you can, if you can't catch us on the radio, you can get us on the stream on the 98.9 WXCO website, the stream, or you can watch on YouTube, the WXCO channel on YouTube. And you also can obviously always go to SullysCollegeFootballPage.com. He's got more information than anybody in this planet would ever have to know or need to know. If you're looking for something, he has it on there. It's a great site. Make sure you take a moment and go pop in there and look around there. We are with Derek from Hutchison from Cloverbelt Credit Union. And before we finish up with our 5 games here, we'd like to hear a little bit more about what you guys offer and what you guys do at Cloverbelt Credit Union.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, Cloverbelt is a full-service financial institution. As I mentioned before, the year eludes me, maybe 1938. So we've been around a long, long time.
Just to be clear, Mick, I wasn't here when that started because I know what you're thinking.
So we've been in the Wausau area for a very long time, and just this past week we opened a branch in Mosinee, and we're excited to be down in that area. We have a lot of members in that area, and this is a way for us to better serve them. But we do the full gamut of real estate loans, car loans, your boats, your campers, checking accounts, debit cards, anything that you might typically find at a financial. The one thing I would say that Cloverbelt has a great feel of is the ability for people to come in and talk. And as much as I love online technology, I always feel that at some point down the road or at some point in your life, you got to talk to somebody. Yep. There's going to be an issue or you're going to have a question that the chat bot online just isn't going to answer for you. And this is, we're very accessible and we're proud of that.
That is a key. And I would agree with that. That's great. And Cloverbelt Credit Union always has been like that, open and that one-on-one individual person. And that is what makes you guys so well liked in the community, and so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now we're going to. I made a little mistake when I was saying Montana. I'm going to say that I've been under the weather a little bit, so I'm going to say that's why it's Montana State versus Yale. I kept on saying Montana, so that was my fault. But our number 6 game is Montana at home versus South Dakota State, and South Dakota State they just won a couple national titles, right?
Yes.
So?
They about 3, maybe even 4 years ago, with the quarterback that currently plays for Iowa, when he started playing there, they got good there right away, and they were challenging North Dakota State. What's that kid's name? Gronowski?
Yep.
Yeah, so he was at there. In fact, people thought last year he may have made that move instead of staying. When I say last year, I mean 2 seasons ago, that he might have made that move then. Some thought maybe the NFL. Never thought he passed the ball well enough, but he was a highly effective runner and could throw the ball underneath. Anyway, they fell off this year, guys. They lost like 4 games, which is like unheard of for them in the last 5-6 seasons. So this game, other than what we're seeing with the Power 4, championship games, this is the best game in the FCS. To see if South Dakota State now has regained its balance. Montana did go through the season at 11-0, and then Montana State beat them in the last game of the regular season. So this is today's best game, and I'm going to say that Montana, out in Big Sky country, continues South Dakota's struggles. Montana gets this done.
All right, Derek, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Sully on that. I think Montana does pull it out, but I think it's going to come down to who makes the big play in this game. I think that's what it's going to be. I think South Dakota State puts up a huge fight, and I think it's going to come down to the big play.
Okay.
The Jackrabbits are not liked in this building right here at the moment. Now we're going to go to the four big ones coming up here. We're starting off with Texas Tech against BYU, and Derek, you're going to have the first say on this one. This is a huge game for who gets into the I'm going to say the big dance or whatever you want to call it nowadays, the 12-team tournament. This is a huge game. Texas Tech and BYU.
I'm going Texas Tech. I think their running game gets it done for them today.
Okay, Texas Tech just beat them a while ago, like 2-3 weeks ago. They won that game with BYU, and I want to say it wasn't that close. It was like 29-7. They just kind of got it done. Texas Tech has pretty much handled everybody in the Big 12. They've beaten double digits pretty regular. The only game they lost in conference was to Arizona State. That was like 27-23. It was a nail biter. All that said, Mick, you're 100% right about this game. The Notre Dame fans are kind of dogged if they do and dogged if they don't, because if Texas Tech loses to BYU, Texas Tech, it'd be unlikely that they would fall below Notre Dame. And if BYU wins, if Texas Tech wins, BYU is going to move from 11th down, and then at 12 is Miami. And, Mick, as painful as it is for an Irish fan to say, I think the head-to-head would probably carry the day, although I don't know why it hasn't happened already. But nonetheless, this game really puts Notre Dame in a bad spot. Then it's going to fall back to the Alabama-Georgia game. But
so
anyway,
without you answering the question, I'm gonna say you're taking Texas Tech because obviously you want Notre Dame in. So I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. You're going Texas Tech.
Okay, I wouldn't use the word obvious though. Maybe like crystal clear would be better.
Okay, all right. So you got Texas Tech on that one. We're gonna come back throwing it right at you. The MAC action here. Western Michigan against Miami, Ohio. So
well, I gotta tell you. I'm often intellectually challenged, that's been that way since kindergarten. but I cannot for the life of me, Derek, figure out the max tiebreaker. There were 4 teams tied, Toledo, Ohio, and these two. And Toledo and Ohio both of them beat Miami of Ohio. Now, Western Michigan was those 3 teams were 6-2. Western Michigan was 7-1, so they were in, and the other 3 were tied. So if either one of you guys could explain to me how they could lose to both those teams and be in front of them, I did contact Scotland Yard and NASA. They're looking into this. It makes no sense. I know that you get 3 teams involved and you start doing weird things, but nonetheless, I'm going to go with Miami of Ohio, Chuck, the cradle of college football coaches, and Chuck Martin, who's a former Notre Dame assistant. He's the head coach there. So I'm Miami, Ohio, all over Western.
Wow, all over them.
All
wow,
over 'em.
that's bold.
That is bold.
I'm not going to be quite that optimistic for them. Actually, I think Western Michigan pulls it out barely, but I do think that Miami gives up a little too much third downs. I just don't think they get it done.
And, I should have mentioned, because that tiebreaker just was mind-boggling. Miami of Ohio did beat Western Michigan earlier in the year, so
correct.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be interesting to see
And
with
they're
that.
so close. Western Michigan they're not going to want to get beat twice. I
Yes.
can tell you, this is going to be a
And
good
sometimes when you play the second team, that second game, when you got 2 even teams, it usually evens out, so to speak. So, well, all right, we got a second different one in there. That's a good one. And we got 2 more here to go in this segment here. We got one of the big ones, I guess. We got Alabama and Georgia. Derek, what do you think?
Well, I'm going with Georgia. I think they get their revenge and they take Alabama down. And I think it's going to be pretty close.
This is going to surprise you guys if you don't know it, but it certainly shocked me. In the last 11 meetings between Alabama and Georgia, Alabama has won 10. You would not think that Georgia would lose 10 of 11 to anybody, but nonetheless, it remains true. I'm with you, Derek, on this. I think Georgia gets it done. The last time Georgia beat them, it was after they had either beat them or lost to them in the SEC championship and then lost to them in the national championship. But the second time they played, Georgia won, or Georgia won one of the 2. So I'm saying Georgia way. Gunner, what's his name? Gunner, not Hutchinson. That would be you. Stockton, Gunner Stockton. I think they're going to get it done this time against Alabama. And Kirby, we're going to have to remind them before the game that that's not Saban on the other sideline. So we're okay.
And for all the listeners out there, Notre Dame needs Alabama to lose that one. So I know it's a shock, but that helps Notre Dame, correct?
Mick, I'm going to explain what
we'll do that. We can do that. We can do that in the next section. But I just had to throw in there.
That's why the committee, if you're a conspiracy buff, Derek, which is fun to be in, but they moved Notre Dame behind Alabama. So when Georgia beats Alabama, this is the committee now conspiring here. They can drop Alabama 1 place, move Notre Dame back to 9, and then compare Alabama to Miami. And Miami has not as good a wins as Alabama, and they never played. So they won't be able to do the head-to-head with Notre Dame anymore. And there you have it, full proof. Scotland Yard did look into that, and they concluded.
Yeah, I just got a headache just hearing about that.
Right.
So we got the same there too. And the last one here before we take a break, we got Ohio State, the big one, number 1 and 2. Who'd have thought that Indiana number 2, that this would be the game of the year? It should be the game of the year at the moment. Ohio State and Indiana. And I think we start with Sul for the last one here. Who do you got, Sul?
I got Tate and I got Johnson. Those that Jeremiah and old Tate, those receivers, Derek, have been kind of banged up, and they're going to get unleashed tonight. And it's an interesting game because this is the first time, maybe all year, that Ohio State's quarterback is not going to be the best quarterback on the field. Mendoza, I think, is better than Singe. And so close game, but I think Ohio State's going to get the game in space, and they're just better in the perimeter than Indiana.
Unfortunately, although I agree with that analysis, I can't root for Ohio State, so I have to go with Indiana. And I'm going to love it when they miraculously win
on that game. and that's the number one seed up for grabs on that. So Indiana with a win would be the number one seed, which would have the best path, or they're all good 12 teams, but the best path to get into that championship game. So that would be an incredible win. So so we do got another 3 different ones on here. We will wrap this up here. We want to make sure we give Derek any last words about Clover Belt Credit Union before he leaves. And we want to thank him for stopping by here this morning.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a blast. But my plug for Clover Belt, we don't have a call center. When you call, you actually get a loan officer, you get someone who can help you. So we're close knit, and we enjoy being part of this Central Wisconsin community, and we love it. And I think one of the things that, I can tout, we do loans and we do all of this stuff, but it's all about relationships.
Right.
And it's the people that make the difference. And so our customers, who we call members, are our most important asset. Without them, we can't do anything. And we appreciate them. We rely on them, and we're here to serve them. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. And, it was a blast.
Yeah. And Derek, I couldn't agree more. I have a couple of accounts over there with you, and I get that same impression every time I walk in. Somebody's there to kind of recognize you and call you over. So yeah, very user-friendly place.
Good to hear.
Thank you very much. And you have a happy holiday season here, Derek. And we will be back with Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO.
The Mint Cafe, serving old-fashioned American comfort food in a cozy atmosphere. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, your choice is the Mint Cafe. Call ahead for carryouts, deliveries to downtown Wausau, and catering is also available. Check them out at mintcafewausau.com.
Looking for a part for your vehicle? Look to Hilltop Auto Wrecking in Wausau. Hilltop Auto Wrecking can help you find just about any part you need for your car, truck, or SUV. They have a great selection of auto glass and tires with lots of sizes ready to go. Hilltop Auto Wrecking is always looking to buy vehicles, so if you're stuck with an older junker, they can haul it away for cash. Hilltop Auto Wrecking, family owned and operated for over 40 years at 237-934 Del Rio Road, formerly 6806 North 33rd Street, Wausau. Call 715-675-3258. Are you looking to furnish a new home, apartment, or cabin? Are you looking for quality clothing at a reasonable price? Well, if you are, be sure to stop at St. Vincent de Paul at 131 West Thomas Street in Wausau. Make them your first stop, your one-stop shop for furniture, clothing, accessories, home products, and much more. And remember, St. Vincent de Paul in Wausau is more than just a thrift store. It's a local ministry meeting the needs of our community. Your purchases benefit those in need right here at home. So shop St. Vincent de Paul at 131 West Thomas Street in Wausau, where your purchases benefit your neighbors.
Since 1997, Mountain Bay Auto Care has been serving Central Wisconsin with top quality and affordable car repair and service. With ASE certified mechanics, stop by 5702 Stella Avenue in Schofield or call 715-355-8646. The warmth of your home is about making memories with family and friends and enjoying life celebrations. At Menzner Hardwoods of Marathon, they understand the importance of bringing warmth to a place you call home. For over a century, their 5th-generation family business has been creating beautiful woodwork for the home and office, just as they have for over 130 years. Menzner Hardwoods looks forward to providing you with elegant wood products to enhance the beauty of your home or office. Visit them at menznerhardwoods.com. Menzner Hardwoods, timeless beauty for your home or office. The Eat Fresh Refresh doesn't stop at your local Wausau Subways. When the urge hits, make sure to stop by any of the 4 Wausau Subway locations at 1609 Merrill Avenue, 330 East Bridge Street, 1819 West Stewart Avenue, and 4300 Rib Mountain Drive in Walmart. Catering, remote ordering, curbside pickup, and Subway delivery all available. And make sure to use the Subway app when you need Subway. Subway with 4 Wausau locations.
Buck's Golf Shop for all of your golfing needs. Located at 903 Grand Avenue, Suite C8, Rothschild, Wisconsin, 54474 in the Bushka Insurance Building on the east side. Specializing in Badger, Bucks, Brewer, and Hacker golf-related items. Green Tag sale is 30% off the retail price. Call 715-581-2646 or email wellsgolf@pcpros.net.
At People's State Bank, we think checking accounts are like SUVs. That's why we offer more features to fuel your lifestyle. The best part? You can open an account without leaving your driveway. Just visit bankpeoples.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. And great guest this morning, Sul. Always have your sponsors. Having them in is the best part for me personally. So you do
I
a good
agree,
job.
Mick. Nothing happens here. And what we're able to do with this and the information we provide and the fun that we have doing it, and then the ability to give back to charities and clinics and schools within the community is all made possible by the guys that you sitting here when we do our guest segment. So yes, without them, none of this happens.
And because I'm not like Mr. Chad Holmes, I don't do I don't keep you on task as well as he does. We get a little behind, but we got a lot of information that we're going to try to do here in the last 15 minutes or so. And we're going to start with the FCS. And remember, anything that is talked about this morning is always on the website. And you can go under the radio portion of it. And it's all there. If we didn't get to it, you can look at it again. And or you can just look at it, anything during the course of the site. Go around there on SullysCollegeFootballPage.com and to navigate around there and look at whatever you want to look at.
Sure.
And so Sully does a great job with that.
If you go to Sully's College Football Page, as Micah said, you'll see a permanent bar, like a menu bar. If you go to the third item from the left, it'll say radio show. And everything that we're going to accelerate here in the next few minutes, you can take your time and look at it. And like Mick was alluding to, there's a lot of information there for you. And you can get caught up on who won last week and who's playing this week as we kind of accelerate through this stuff.
And we talked about a lot about FCS games. We actually talked about 4 or 5 of them, I think, in
Yes.
with Derek. But we have 8 games this week. They're in the second round. The bye teams that got to bye last week are back in and playing this week, right? So,
Yes.
And quickly, give me those 8 games. One that pops out at you. I know that you kind of mentioned it already, but what would be the one game that pops out at you off of those 8?
There's no doubt it's South Dakota State-Montana game. Montana comes in at 11-1. South Dakota State has struggled this year, 9-4. They haven't had 4 losses, I don't think, in the last 3 years. You'd need all 3 combined to get to 4. So this is going to be the best game of the day. We didn't mention Rhode Island. They're playing UC Davis. Rhode Island is a team out of the Coastal Athletic Association, very good club. And they're playing a always solid Mountain Sky team, UC Davis. So, and then the Abilene Christian Stephen F. Austin game we didn't get to talk about. But anyway, what they do in the FCS, Mick, they take 24 teams. They play 16 teams. The highest 8 seeded get buys. Then they get down to 8. And then those 8 teams that emerge from the 16 line up and play the 8 teams that you were talking about getting buys. So that's where we're at. If you go there, you can get really some good insights into to what's going to happen today.
And it's really good football. At that level, it's as good as any football. Obviously not maybe the Alabamas, but who is at that level. But otherwise, these are tremendous football being played.
Mick, you know, I couldn't agree more. They've got well over 200 players in the league. So there are guys that play on this level that we talked about player development. You know, you talk about the constellations. This guy's got 5 stars, and these are kids that come in that are very good football players and then have been developed. Now, because of NIL and because of the portal, they're getting poached. They're poached. They're getting gobbled away.
Hey.
And but nonetheless, these teams can play. And so, Mick, the other thing I wanted to jump to was segment 6, where we were going to talk about the bowls. So let's do a quick synopsis. 35 bowls this year. So we needed 70 teams for the 35. And I know, Mick, you're already impressed with my math skills there. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at it myself right on here, so I can see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you kind of stole my thunder. People know I'm reading it. Anyway, then, you know, with those 70 teams, you need, in addition, 12 more for the college football playoff. So this year we needed 82 teams. Now, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, we started tracking teams. You need 6 wins. 6 wins. One of them can be against an FCS team. So in other words, if you're Wisconsin, Mick, you could go play South Dakota, and that could count as one of your 6 wins. But you can only do that once. You cannot play 2 FCS teams and count it towards bowl eligibility. That said, there are currently, and we're done now, there are 79 teams that have qualified for the 82 spots. And so what's going to have to happen, Mick, they're going to have to do that AYP, that annual yearly progress. And if you have done very well academically, they need to find 3 teams who must have 5 wins. So that's kind of where we're at. 82 teams are needed. 79 have qualified. We're going to have to go to AYP to get 3 more teams to fill up the slates.
And the last question before we take our last quick break. If Wisconsin would have won last week, it probably would have been in.
That's what we were talking about. You know, Wisconsin, I actually heard Fickle this year mention graduation rates, and he was talking about GPAs. That's almost like dead language. It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls or something. Nobody even knows what they are. So I was glad to hear that. And, you know, Wisconsin is always going to be one of those teams because of the focus on academics. So, yeah, the Minnesota loss hurt us because we could have got back into a bowl. And for those naysayers who talk about you didn't do it on the field, I would say better for Wisconsin because we did it in the classroom.
Yep, with the toughest schedule.
Yeah,
one of the toughest schedules in college football.
Good point.
All right, we will take our last break, and we'll come back with the big finale here, talking about some of those big games here today on Sully's College Football page on 98.9 WXCO.
Crab River Golf Course in Wausau is a unique 18-hole public course. The relaxed atmosphere and breathtaking Northwood scenery is sure to make your golfing day a satisfying experience. For membership information and tee times, call Crab River Golf Course at 715-675-3044.
France Propane at 1153 Foundry Street in Schofield is a local family-owned complete service company serving central Wisconsin for over 2 generations. France Propane is a value-driven company whose goal every day is to provide excellent service, maintain the highest safety, reliability in customer care, and competitive pricing. France Propane, service first, safety always. Check out France Propane at francepropane.com. For over 30 years, Webco has worked with corporations, schools, organizations on their apparel and promotional needs. Webco can handle small quantities to orders in the thousands with a fast turnaround. Webco of Wausau, 1405 West Thomas Street.
This holiday season, experience the magic of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker, presented by Central Wisconsin School of Ballet at the Grand Theater in Wausau. Join Flare Up, the Nutcracker Prince, and the Sugar Plum Fairy for an unforgettable journey through the land of sweets. With dazzling costumes, stunning choreography, and a cast of talented dancers, it's a holiday tradition the whole family will cherish. Performances are December 6th at 1:30 and 7 p.m. and December 7th at 1 p.m. Tickets available now at the Grand Theater box office. Don't miss the wonder of the Nutcracker.
North End Pub, cold beer, clever conversation, all stories cross-referenced for validity. If you're looking for a nice spot to hang with friends, North End Pub will do the trick. Stop in for thirst relief today. North End Pub, North 3rd Avenue, Wausau.
Big Fat Designs can give your company the cutting-edge look it needs to attract customers and stand out from the rest. From websites and print designs to logos and letterheads, Big Fat Designs is your effective and affordable marketing solution. E-commerce, online customer database, video and audio players, Big Fat Designs does it all. And the best part, you deal with someone locally to talk with, to meet with, working hands-on towards your success. Big Fat Designs in Wausau. Find out more online at bigfatdesigns.com.
Witness the difference at Newman Catholic Schools, where education is embraced by the Christian faith and students are held to a high standard of academic excellence. Schedule a tour and learn what it means to be a Newman Catholic Cardinal. Visit newmancatholicschools.com to learn more.
And welcome back to Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. Our last segment of the day with Sul here. Sul, time goes so fast. We have a great time doing this, and but time just goes fast.
I got to tell you, Mick, it's like alien abduction. You know, I'm thinking, wait a minute. That can't be 2 hours. You know, they always got lost time, those intellectuals who claim they were picked up by aliens. Usually they're down in Arkansas with bright yellow or green teeth, but nonetheless, this time flies. Man.
We've had fun. And so we're going to this last segment here. We're going to talk about the championships games. We got about 7 minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to go through and some of the ramifications of the games, and then see what your 12 teams you think will be in the tournament. That will be the final thing we will do today. Will be hearing you to say the 12 names, the 12 teams that you think will be in. We got the Big 12 championship, which you have talked about already with Texas Tech against BYU. Texas Tech, 12.5 point favorites. What do you think?
Well, the simulator, not only are they favored, the simulator, our 8 categorical analysis says that they're going to outperform BYU today in 6 of the 8. I think TCU wins this game, gives BYU its second loss of the year, and basically eliminates BYU from the tournament.
And the MAC championship, again, another game we talked about a little bit, and does not have any ramifications in the 12 teams, but the championship at Ford Field, Western Michigan, who you did not pick, is favored by 1.5 points.
They are, you know, and that just goes to show you the boys and girls in the desert can often be wrong. Now, if you look at the game simulator, it says the Western Michigan's going to win too. I'll tell you, I think Chuck Martin is really a big kind of game coach. Here's the thing that you're going to like about him, Mick, that you probably haven't heard. When he was at Notre Dame, he was the D coordinator, okay?
Yep.
Then a couple of years later, Kelly made him the offensive coordinator. You rarely hear at a major university like that the guy was both the DC and the OC, but he was. This guy can flat out coach, and I'm more than shocked that he hasn't
got another job.
Bigger job. I mean, the guy's a great coach.
The SEC championship, we have down in Atlanta, Georgia. We got Georgia favored by 2.5 over Alabama.
Yeah, and here the simulator says Bama wins. By the numbers. All the simulator knows is numbers. It doesn't know who Georgia and Bama have played. It doesn't know. In this case, it's not a home game. They're at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. But it likes Bama, where the boys and girls in the desert like Georgia. I think Georgia gets this done. I think Gunnar Stockton has a big-time game. Control Simmons, the quarterback from Bama. And Georgia finally gets a win against Alabama, is that in the last 11, Mick, they've won once. Both of these teams are in. Bama, and I've got a theory that I'll mention at the end about why they moved them in front of Notre Dame.
In the Big Ten championship, we have Indiana and Ohio State, which, again, we talked about a little bit beforehand. Both 12-0. They have Ohio State down in the desert, favored by 4. And the game similar was flip of a coin.
Yes, it says flip a coin. We put that on there for humor. So if you go to the site and you use the simulator yourself, if it's a tie like it is here, it just says flip a coin. This is going to be a great game. Sayin, the quarterback at Ohio State, in my opinion, for the first time this year, will not be the most effective quarterback on the field. Mendoza will be. However, make those receivers, Tate and Jeremiah Johnson. Am I saying that right? Jeremiah Smith? Jeremiah, the great receiver. He, they're going to get a heavy dose of them. You're going to see a lot of what you saw against Tennessee in the opening round of the playoffs.
And on the last championship game, they'll be going at the same time as the Big Ten championship. Will be the ACC championship, and you got Duke 7-5 versus Virginia 10-2. Virginia favored by 4, and similar would agree with the people in the desert.
Yeah, it says 7 of 8 categories. Virginia outperforms. I mean, that makes sense. Virginia's 10-2, and Duke has 5 losses. So the reality is, it's looking at numbers, and Virginia's numbers with that record clearly would have been better. So that's kind of the games today.
Yep.
Now, what does this mean? I think we all know the first 4 teams that are there, Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, and Texas Tech are all going to get in. They're all going to get in. Whatever else may happen, they're in. Then you look at Oregon, Mississippi State, whether Peck's bad boy is there or not, it won't matter. I think they're in for certain. A team that I think is real suspect that's going to get in is OU. While they are great defensively, you and I might be able to slow them down on defense. They just have struggled on offense. They got a great running quarterback, but man, they have been defended in the last half of the season pretty regularly. But they've been able to win games. They've been able to beat some people, in particular Alabama. So they're in. So that gets us to what? 7 teams?
7 teams, yep.
All right. And then now you're getting into so number 8, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, I don't have it in front of me. Number 8 would be we did Oregon, we did Ole Miss, we did Oklahoma.
Texas A&M?
Yeah, I think we did them at 4. But anyway, the teams 1 through 8, I think
you have Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Texas A&M, Oklahoma.
Oh, A&M. A&M. I'm sorry, that's the team we missed. A&M. The thing about A&M that's real interesting, Mick. They this is going to surprise you when I tell you this. I used to tell my son Mike that they played an ACC, not SEC schedule. How about this? They didn't play Georgia. They didn't play Bama. They didn't play OU. They didn't play Vandy. And until the end of the season, they didn't play Texas. And there's one other in there, Ole Miss. They didn't play them. So you had all of these teams, and then you're, well, who did they play? This is a byproduct of these conferences growing. You know, there's 16 teams in that league, and they were able to avoid. So my point is, maybe they were a little overrated, as the Texas fans certainly let them know the night they were in Austin. They're in. So now you've got Bama at 9, Notre Dame at 10, BYU at 11, and Miami at 12. Here's what I think is likely to happen.
And you got about 20 seconds. So
Okay.
we'll get in there.
I think the reason the committee wants Notre Dame in, the committee wants Alabama in. At least people in that room do.
Yep.
So what they need is Georgia to beat Alabama, drop Alabama a spot, move Notre Dame back to 9. Then with the head-to-head, you and I are of the same mind. Head-to-head matters. Head-to-head's got to be a determining factor. Now you'd be comparing Miami to Alabama at that 11-10, last one in, last one out. That'll work because Bama has better wins than Miami.
And there you have it from Sal himself. And it's been a great 2 weeks, Sal. Make sure you I appreciate you having us on here. And you guys enjoy the college football games this week. Sully's collegefootballpage.com on 98.9 WXCO.
WXCO 1230 AM, W255DN Wausau, streaming at bullfallsradio.com.